Welcome to Spiritual Warfare Unit. We are a show who highlight people who live their faith by helping their community. We have one of those warriors coming in now. I hope you enjoy the show. Good morning. Welcome to the Warrior's Way. Our warrior this week is Abron Andrews Jr. Say good morning.
Good morning.
So you are a friend of mine that has a non-profit called Vet Biz Central, correct?
Well,
or is it a business?
It is a business. It is part of the Small Business Administration and Veteran Business Development.
All right. And your website, so people can check it out while we're talking, is vetbizcentral.org, correct?
That is correct.
All right. vetbizcentral.org. Okay. So the end of your story is Vet Biz Central.
Yes.
And you helping veterans get businesses. But that's not where we're going to start.
Okay.
We're going to start with where you came from, where you're at. So where'd your life start? Was it here in Michigan?
Born and raised right here in Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. All right. And high school, where'd you go?
High school, Flint Northwestern Wildcats.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you graduated with parents, brothers and sisters. Like, what's that scheme look like there?
Well, mother, father, two sisters. Lived in northeast part of Flint.
Now, were those older sisters?
One older, one younger.
Oh, so you were the peacemaker.
Yeah, yep, or the troublemaker.
Nice.
Either one.
Okay. So you graduate in what year?
Graduated in 84.
1984, and
Yes.
you decide the path of your life is what?
Oh, my goodness. Back then, when I graduated, it was, I attended my community college for a couple of years, actually about 3 semesters. Then at that point in time, I figured, I just had to, get out and be adventurous.
All right. So you decided to do what?
I decided that Flint just didn't provide enough adventure, so I decided to go to the Navy.
All right. So you go into the Navy, and out of all the things, what did you pick?
What did I pick?
Yeah, your rank, your MOS.
Oh, well, my MOS back in, what they call it in the Navy is your rate.
Right.
So,
yep.
I started out actually as an electrician's mate, and and that didn't go the way that I wanted it to. So I ended up being assigned to my first ship undesignated until I got picked up. Got transferred over into the Air Department Division, and
Wait, Air Department Division.
Air Department V4 Division.
All right, and what do they do?
They are the aviation bosun's mate fuelers, and they are in charge of all of the aviation fuel on board any type of ships or any of our land bases.
So at this time, are you thinking I'm going to make this a career, or I'm just going to stay in for a hot minute? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, you know what? The way that it worked out was, I figured I would, once I finished my first enlistment, I'd take advantage and re-enlist and, try to find a pathway to what I wanted to do. And it was during that time I ended up starting my own business.
Wait, so you're in the Navy and you decide you're going to start your own business while you're still...
While I was shore-based.
How did you do that, and what was it?
Wow. Okay. Well, I had attended a lot of business classes while we were at sea, and my family has always been, let's just say, in the entrepreneurship environment. My mother, my father, my uncles, they were all business owners, so it was kind of deeply embedded in me. So when I thought about what I wanted to do as far as, education-wise, it was business.
Right.
Now, I changed majors a couple of times until I finally found out which one suited me, and that ended up being business administration. So,
what's the business you started?
Well, I started an auto detailing business back in San Diego, which is where I was shore-based at the time, called Excalibur Detailing.
So it's like a car detailing town?
Yes, it was. It was a car detailing business. downtown San Diego in
Oh, you're making bucks with that one, bud.
well, it was nice. It really was, and it was profitable.
Right.
But as business would have it, you have your challenges and you have your successes, and it came to the point to where I had to dissolve the business after starting, 2 locations.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you dissolved it.
Yep.
So that put you, how old are you when you're doing that?
I was, let's see,
20s?
28. Yeah, 28.
All right. So then you dissolve them. Do you go? What happens next? Do you go back on ship or?
Yep. I had already gone. I had already re-enlisted. I ended up bringing on a partner, and my partner operated the business for a while until we came to the conclusion that it needed to be dissolved because I needed to be there. That's what I felt like.
Right.
And so that's what I did. My next command, my third enlistment, was on board the USS Essex, LHD-2. And I was there until I experienced a shoulder injury. And that shoulder injury kind of progressed.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I actually have no idea how it happened. I do not. It just happened.
Fair enough. Just doing the job somewhere.
Doing the job. Well, my rate on board a ship requires us to go up and down various different levels using a ladder to go down to, the fuel's pump rooms. And, that can be 4 stories.
Yeah. That's some running.
Yeah. Well, a lot of climbing.
All right. Well, in the middle of doing all that climbing, you and I had talked before about some stuff, and I normally want the whole conversation to be new, but I remember you telling me how beautiful the sunsets that you got to see out there were, man.
Oh.
Right. Tell people a little bit about that. That was so cool when you were defining those colors. Like, first of all, where were you at? I couldn't remember that part.
I would probably say the most beautiful sunset I'd have ever seen was in Singapore.
Singapore. Okay.
Yeah, it was a velvet blue to a dark purple to
a velvet blue.
Velvet blue.
Wow. I didn't even know it could be that color.
It was just awesome. And I'm telling you, I sat there on the flight deck of the ship and I just watched it. That's all I could do.
Right.
Yeah. And living in San Diego, sitting there watching some of the sunsets off of Sunset Cliffs.
Yeah, those yellows and pinks. I've seen those.
Yellows, pinks, reds.
Yep, just gorgeous.
Just beautiful.
Well, before we get into the rest of it, I want to take a break real quick.
Okay.
So if this is your first time, please help us help others. Like, share, and subscribe on Spiritual Warfare Unit. Visit vetbizcentral.org. We'll be right back. If you're looking for a life application class for your small groups at church, please go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, and we have a Proverbs-based 18-video life application class that will be just a fit for you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. So welcome to the first lesson of Spiritual Warfare Unit. This entire series is based off of identifying sin nature and identifying God's nature and why sin nature doesn't work in our life by using our examples that we have done in our lives, and secondly, then showing God's nature in the second half of the series to see why it works, and we're going to be identifying why sin nature doesn't work. And there's 10 identifiable men or personalities that we're going to be working with, and tonight, being the first one, we're going to be talking about a liar. A liar. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever lied in your entire life, but I know I have. And the first question you have to ask yourself is, why is it that we lie? What is it that we get out of it? And we only do something because we get out of it. So the first example I'd like to use is, how many people have kids? All right. And how many of you had to teach your child how to lie? Nobody. That's weird. None of you had to teach them how to lie, but you had to teach them how to tell the truth, right? Don't you find that interesting? You didn't have to teach them about stealing a cookie. You didn't have to teach them about stealing a cookie? Did you ever teach them about lying about stealing the cookie when they had the chocolate all over their face? And you said, did you eat that cookie? And they said no when it was behind their back. Isn't it interesting that those are the things that we already know, the preset nature or decision-making processes that we have in our life? And what is it that we get out of it? We get the cookie at the time. We don't get in trouble, right? But then you deal with the guilt of that thing when you see that person, right? And so we need to look at why we lie. What do we get out of it? And so when I was first studying this, I was in a car accident in 2009. And I had a brain injury that affects my vision, my long-term memory, but it affected my personality as well. And so I had to do a reset of my personality. So I went through the things that I like and I dislike, and I didn't know where to go. So I prayed about it, and I wanted to be wise. And so I started in Proverbs, and I started reading it. And then I started identifying different men. And tonight we're going to take a look at the liars. There's 3 different types of liars that we're going to identify. Now you should have received a paper giving you the messages, verses that we're going to be going over. Our Bible that we're going to be using is the King James Bible. You should have also received a definitional page, which gives you the definitions of the words that we're going to be using to identify the Old English. And I just want you to know that the guys that went through this class in the jail that I'm a chaplain at are the ones that put together the definitional page for us, and so I'm pretty excited about having them as part of the team. But we're going to start with a talebearer. A talebearer, and if you look on your old definitional page there under T, you're going to find a talebearer is a person who reveals secrets. A person who comes up to you and says, you can trust me, and they tell you how great you are so they can get information out of you. Now, how do I know that? I know that because the Bible identified who a talebearer is. So let's take a look. And we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 2, and verse 16 is our first verse. 2 and verse 16. And if you back up to verse 11, it says, discretion shall preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee, verse 12, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, for the man that speaks froward things, we'll get to that word in a little bit, who leaves the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil, and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and froward in their paths. And knowledge is to deliver thee from the strange woman, even the stranger with flatters with her words. A strange woman that flatters with her words. Why would a woman that you do not know flatter you with her words? What is it that she's going to get out of it? And let's just pretend from a relational standpoint.
All right, welcome back to the Warrior's Way. Our warrior this week is Abron Andrews Jr., and he's from VetBiz Central, vetbizcentral.org. And we were just getting your story.
Yes.
And you're in San Diego after 12 years in the military, medically honorably discharged, and you decided to go into a bank, and you decided within 6 months you were doing tellers, and then you wanted to do insurance. Is that right?
I was looking to go start a career. Well, that was the overall.
Yeah. So you made such an impression in 6 months from the manager. Now you're going to school with the manager, the bank manager, to the rep on the west side.
Yeah.
He basically, what you were saying is, he's like, I'm stealing this guy. Thank you for your service. That's basically what happened, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it that way, but
I'm just saying, like, it politely said he's not putting 2 weeks in. Thanks for the guy. Okay,
kind of something like that.
all right. So how did that go? I mean,
It went. It was a little bumpy transition.
Yeah. What made it bumpy?
Well, tellers have to what they call balance their cash drawers, and I was on probation for being off for how can I say it, a few cents.
A few cents, like 3 pennies or 4 pennies.
A few cents. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was corrective. It wasn't anything big, but still, it was what it was.
Yeah.
So after they got that cleared up, the issue was that he's transferring into a position that's non-cash handling.
Yeah.
You understand, how all of that works when it comes to the bank.
I gotcha.
And but everything was cleared up.
All right, so your new job has you, and again, you got to be what, early 30, 32, 33?
I'm in my mid 30s.
So this would put you in the late 90s?
Yeah, actually 98.
Okay.
Yep, 98.
So you're in the late 90s, and you're doing this, so you get over those little bumps, and how did that work, selling insurance? They come to you, or you find them, or like?
Well, the way that it works in private client services is that, I'm working for two financial consultants, and between the both of them, they've got, several thousand clients.
Several thousand?
Yeah, several.
Wow.
I'd say at least a couple.
Okay.
And, they all have books of business.
Right.
And, they're working with their A clients. I'm working with their B and C, and I'm turning the B clients into A clients, and I'm turning the C clients into B clients. I'm working them up. All the while, I'm making sure that they all have appointments to meet with them. I provide technical assistance, and make sure that they understand, statements, things along those lines. I was placing, I wasn't allowed to place any trades or anything until I received my Series 7 license.
And how long does that take?
Well, it's the first license that you take when you're going through the process, because it is the most difficult license.
How long does it take to get it? License 7.
I studied 4 months total. First time I took the exam, I failed it. Second time I took it, I passed it. And after that, they figured, okay, we're going for the hardest first.
Yeah,
you work your way backwards. Then I had to get my...
So it's downhill after that one?
Yeah, it was downhill, because if you don't pass that, then, it was nice working with you. Nice.
Thank you for your time, sir. Good luck with the rest of it.
Yep.
Because it sounds like it's something that you had to invest in.
Oh, trust me, plenty.
Yeah, I know. The look of disdain on your face when you were saying that was...
Long nights, very long nights. But, I passed it. Then I had to take several other exams, Series 65, 63, life and disability insurance. But, I passed all of those.
So those take, like, how long to get all those? Sounds like that's about 18 months, give or take.
No, actually, they push it through very quick. Yeah,
so it's 6 months for the first test, and then...
About 4 months studying and going to a class. And then after that, the other two happened probably within 2 to 3 months. So probably about 7 or 8 months training total.
All right, so this is what, 98, 99 right now?
We're into 99 now.
All right, and so you pass these tests, and this allows you to do what?
This allows me to sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, do financial planning, the works.
And do you like that stuff?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved it, and I had no idea how much I'd like it, because what I really found out that, it was basically listening to people and, writing down, making sure that you write down all of their goals and objectives, and then providing solutions for them to get to those goals and objectives.
And how long did you do that?
I did that from 98 to 2010. The last organization I worked with was Mutual of Omaha. By that time, we were in, the middle of our depression from 2007.
Yeah.
And at that point, I said, you know what? I just need to go back and reinvent myself.
All right, welcome back to the Warriors Way. This is our second show with Abron Andrews Jr., and he's with vetbizcentral.org. And we had talked about a couple of the groups that you go through, and I was kind of asking how many of those there are and what's the time frame. So you said there was SCORE, and then there was, what was the second one we talked about?
SCORE.
BD something?
Nope, SBDC, better known as the Small Business Development Center.
Okay.
We have women's business centers that are located all over Michigan. Okay. And you have Apex Accelerators that focus on all things contracting.
And how How long would you say would it take? Those are 4 things you mentioned. What's the time frame of learning what they can show you?
Well, it's different. See, what we do at Vet Biz Central, like our resource partners that I just mentioned, we are what I call, or what our organization is, it is a one-stop shop. So let's just say you go to the Small Business Administration, you're a veteran and you're looking for some assistance in starting a business. And you're going to see Veteran Business Outreach Center on there. So you're going to click on there and you're going to find Vet Biz Central if you're in Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana.
Right.
And you're going to go over, what we help you out with. Then, of course, let's just say you give us a call and you're a veteran, you've had some business ideas, the entrepreneurship bug has bit you and, you want to get out of this, other job.
9 to 5 or
and start your own business.
Yeah.
So the way that our process works is that they usually call us up. Hey, somebody answered the phone. Great.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Right.
And we talk to them about what we do.
Yeah.
And that usually, after about 10 minutes, turns into them going to our website and registering as a new client.
Which is vetbizcentral.org.
That is vetbizcentral.org.
Okay.
And what we do, one of our staff members will pull the registration from the queue. They'll give them a call.
Okay.
And the way that it works is that we'll obtain information about, their military career, what they did after the military career, and a little bit about, how they got to where they are right now. And then after that, we'll jump into, what type of business are they looking at doing?
Okay.
And this is part of the feasibility part of our counseling.
So let's say they have what it takes to make it happen, and they go through. How long does that take? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? I mean,
It
what
depends
is it?
on how much time they actually have to commit to starting their business. Some people are working a day job and they want to work their way out. I mean, some people don't have a day job. And
Here's a better
more
question:
time.
how many hours do they need to invest to get all that, like the information done? I guess is a better question.
To get which information? How to-
Score, SPDC, like get all that information so they can make an informed decision about their business and all that.
Well, that's what we help them do. Our resource partners are where our resource partners assist us in other areas, but Vet Biz Central is a one-stop shop for them to start their
So
business.
this goes as fast as you want it to go.
Yes.
Oh, I thought there was like classes and there's months and this and no. You're like, no, we're going to help you. This is what you need. Bing, 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 and then you can start.
That's
no
correct.
kidding.
No kidding.
I was missing that part.
No, you don't. These are just other resource partners that that if you're not a veteran, that you can go to, because Vet Biz Central only helps veterans and their spouses.
Yeah.
The other organizations are resource partners that we collaborate with to put on other events. In the event that we want to send them somewhere to get something specific, like Score, they're mentors.
Okay.
They are
gotcha.
Volunteers.
I gotcha. Man, I wasn't picking that up. So you've been doing this since, you said, what, 2016?
I've been doing this since 2015.
15.
Yep.
Okay, since 2015.
And
If you had to guess, how many people have you been able to help start businesses? If you had to guess that number, I mean, that's got to be a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's quite a few. I would say how many people I've talked to and counseled. Well, I was a counselor, business counselor from 2015 to 2020.
Yeah.
And 2020 to now, this is my 3rd year as director.
Yeah.
But I still counsel some, not as much. Most of my job now is organizing, planning, collaborating, things along those lines.
Right.
But I would say probably somewhere in the area of about 3,000 people.
3,000.
3,000.
I got to be honest, I was expecting like hundreds.
No.
3,000 businesses that you helped start off?
Well, 3,000 people that I counsel, not
Yeah,
everyone.
no, I got it.
Yeah,
I'm not asking.
everyone. Yeah.
I don't. Do you keep track of the successful numbers and how many years and all that, or no?
Yes, we do.
Do you really?
We do.
What's that number?
Well, let's just say if you look at total starts, and it's just an estimate, don't hold me to it, but basically in the past 9 years, I would average somewhere probably around, let's just be conservative, probably around 700.
700 a year?
Oh, no, 700 total.
700 total?
700 businesses total in 9 years. I would say that's just a rough. Don't hold me to that. But and I'm just going off of thinking about our quarterly reports and how that's happened. But believe it or not, COVID really kind of kicked things into high gear.
Kicked it into high gear?
High gear. Yes, because
tell me why.
Everyone's working from home.
Oh, so everybody's sitting at home going, geez, I need to find something to do.
Find something to do, or I'm not liking this and I need something else to do, or you know what, I've got enough time to retire and do what I really want to do, and I've learned that, you know what, I enjoy being at home. Yeah.
So what was the percentage of people like before COVID and after COVID that was getting a hold of you?
I would probably say COVID bumped it up probably about 30%.
No kidding.
The usual.
And has it stayed there?
It has, I'd say it's probably come down to about 20. Our efforts in helping our clients has increased dramatically because, once again, COVID allowed us to do everything virtually, where we used to travel.
Yeah.
We used to travel to all of these states, Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. Mm-hmm. Well, now we had to do them virtually.
Yeah, you're Zooming.
2 years. So we're Zooming it. We're Microsoft Teams and, GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. Mm-hmm. So it allowed us to do a lot more. Mm-hmm. So, here we are in 2023. So in 2022, things were kind of calmed down.
Yep.
But I had already, completed or had already anticipated having a pretty robust training program. Mm-hmm. So I just kept it. I just stuck with it.
No kidding, and that resulted in a bump at 20% maintenance. Wow. Man, you've been doing this since 2015. So your whole life scope, you got out of Flint, went into the military, got hurt, started something else, did schooling, got into that like that. Market drops, go back to school. Mm-hmm. So that's your pattern. Mm-hmm. Got into this. People helped you because you were helping people, which produced this outcome. So now we got to see what's the next 12.
Yeah.
Come in, because that's coming up here maybe in a couple of years, yeah?
Yeah, it could be. I never know. I just keep doing what I do because it's not broke.
Right.
And I'm just enjoying what I do and family. Staying in today. Well,
Abron, I appreciate it so much. FatBizCentral.org. Please check that out. We are officially out of time. Your story is amazing. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Help us help others. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to our show. If you'd like to see the full episode, please go to Spiritual Warfare Unit on YouTube, and you can like and subscribe. If you know anyone that's a new Christian and they're looking to get help in their new life, please go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, and you can click on our life application class to help them. If you know anybody that's working in a nonprofit that deserves to get some marketing, have them go to Spiritual Warfare Unit on YouTube, like and subscribe, and we will pick one person a month to be on our show. I hope it's a person that you're going for. We'll see you next time.
Too much and let me stay this way.